And of course, another weekend of exciting sporting action is upon us. And as we normally do every Friday, we've roped in the award-winning journalist and sports commentator, Khayiso Tshwaku, to review some of the clashes. Khanyiso, very good morning to you. Let's get straight into talking rugby, the Springboks. What are your thoughts on how they played last weekend, and what do you think they need to fix ahead of tomorrow's game?
Good morning, Via. Good morning to the viewers. Look, the Boks shot themselves in the foot last week. They had extended spells in the 22 and did not convert those particular opportunities. So it becomes imperative that tomorrow in Cape Town, that when they get into the 22, they convert. If they watched it, well, they would have watched the Lions. The Lions had several entries in the 22 and they made them work. So they can't have periods in the game where they have entries in the 22 and do not convert. So it becomes, the Springboks did a lot of things right in the first test, but conversion of opportunities will be imperative for Saturday's test match.
And we look at the All Blacks. They've been forced to call up more injury enforcement after their players suffered injuries last weekend. We look at the likes of Anton Segner, Anton de Groot, as well as Josh Lord, all sidelined. Do you think these injuries will perhaps destabilize the team a little bit, or if at all?
I think not at all. If you look at how well New Zealand scrambled, in particular in either de Groot's absence, what it has done, George Bauer will be starting, then Xavier Numia moving them into the reserve loose head role. Anton Segner, New Zealand have also brought several loose forwards, so I don't think it is a particular area or position that New Zealand worries about. But it also speaks to a very difficult nature of a tour, where a nutritional tour will take names, will take players. And if you look at the fact that New Zealand had to use a Sam Tupolotu who played on Thursday, who played on Tuesday, then is playing again on Saturday, they will speak to the fact that as much as tours are popular, tours aren't easy, and they'll take names and numbers from an injury perspective.
All right, well, we're certainly looking forward to that clash tomorrow. And of course, it will be live on the SABC as well for our viewers. Let's now move on into local football. The second leg of the semi-finals, the first encounter tomorrow, Orlando Pirates up against Kukune, playing for the third time in the space of a week. Talk to me about your expectations.
Look, I think those two teams must be tired of each other at the moment. But I think Pirates, especially the previous Saturday, they did well enough to get the away goal. And I think Pirates should be a bit too strong for Sekhukhune in this particular venture. Yes, Sekhukhune have showed some really good improvement signs under Sejikazi, but I cannot foresee them getting past this particular Pirates team. And I think the bigger concern is that across the two games, they've been blanked by Pirates. So let's speak to the strength of Pirates' defense. So I can't see Sekhukhune having not won in Polokwane, losing on Wednesday, actually winning the second leg of the semi-final.
All right, so that encounter, of course, also live on SABC tomorrow on SABC 1. And on Sunday's action, Mamelodi Sundowns, they travel to Bafana Bafana, having, of course, Bafana Bafana that away goal advantage. How do you see Arrows approaching the encounter, considering that they will be playing at home? And, of course, for Mamelodi Sundowns, it's do or die. In the cup, they've only lifted once under the MTN sponsorship.
Look, I think the important part for Sundowns is converting opportunities. They had several in the Arrows game last week, but they did not convert. Arrows didn't have that many, but Junior Dion punished them. I think Arrows would have looked at Sundowns' barnstorming win over Amazulu earlier this week and realized that there will be days when Sundowns actually get the opportunities and make them work. And I think the key part now, they'll avoid being as defensively profligate as Amazulu. And I think they showed a fair bit of tenacity to Arrows last week. But I think the key part for them is just ensuring that Sundowns don't have enough time and space on the board in the same manner that they did on Wednesday.
And finally, Khanyiso, as I wrap up with you, we saw SAFA appearing before the Committee of Sports in Parliament this week, various issues being discussed. I want to zoom in on the coaching part, though. We still don't have a coach. AFCON qualifiers are starting in the month of September. How do you think this might affect preparations?
Significantly. Whoever comes in and coaches now will probably have less than a month to prepare the team for the AFCON qualifiers. So it's just a terrible sequence of events that is unfolding. This probably was something that should have been sorted before the World Cup, sorting out the finances and the financing of the coaching before the World Cup. it just speaks so badly of SAFA right now. I mean, they received quite a bruising at the portfolio committee meeting, not just from the financing, in particular, move to how Vincent Seka, the former team manager, also how he operates as a team manager, came for the bruising. It just spoke so badly of the organization. The fact that SAFA president Danny Jordan was also absent there, spoke quite badly of the organization, because you needed the organization's head to be in a position to actually appear and speak on behalf of how the organization was working. So, look, on the field, I think Bafana may reflect how disjointed SAFA have been off the field.
Unfortunate things happening in the South African football scene from a national team point of view. But Khanyiso, always such a pleasure chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time. That is Khanyiso Tshwaku, News 24 sport journalist.